I'm Deep Mahaman and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV on an afternoon that saw Liverpool fall 3-1 to Paul Lamberts, Aston Villa side at Anfield in the Premier League. Before we talk about the game, which will be a genuine pleasure, I can assure you, let's have some of your Facebook comments first and foremost. Chris Poots says, a tough day indeed, but we were never going to become a dominant force overnight. You can see the improvement on the pitch, just not in the results. It will take time. You'll never walk alone. Very level-headed. Well done. Brian C. Hayes says, bad day at the office, lots of tired legs. Sterling not only needs a rest, but is starting to lose form. On a positive note, Downing was superb. Yeah, very interesting to see Downing's performance. I think perhaps in a bad bunch, he was one that stood out. What did you think of Downing's performance? Did you think he had a good game? Did you think he was shit? You know, are you so blinded by what's gone before that you can't see a Stuart Downing performance when it hits you in the face? Or am I just talking shit and was he genuinely just rubbish? Let us know in the comment section. Anyway, Tony Billington says, one word, shite. Going nowhere fast. Yeah. Wilson Noah Belky. So I get this wrong every day. Good chance for us to climb up the table and we mess it up once again. And then a hashtag Liverpool supporter. Problems. There was a problem with Liverpool supporters there, I must admit. I've been in Anfield, that was the worst I've heard it in some time. I just flat. Anyway, we'll talk about it in a second. Shane Ryan, there goes my 4-0 bet. We just got beat by, in my eyes, the worst team in the league. Technically that's QPR, but I won't dwell on that. Andrew Lee, not the best result, but keep the faith. Couple of good signings in January, who knows? In Brendan we trust. Jack Kent, a bit shit. Chin up, carry on. Yeah. Harry McCrudden says, I understand losing to a team with class like Spurs, but Aston Villa, second place. Rodgers, are you drunk? Yeah, Liam Parsons, if we were ever getting a bit optimistic about this season, that's a big fucking reminder. There's a long way to go. Yes, I think we'll leave it there, shall we? Well, shit. I mean, you know, Aubrey, who's one of the regular contributors to the subscriber show, said to me, you know, Paul, please give me your normal glass half full ism, you know what I mean, to try and put things in context. Well, shit. You know, there's no escaping that fact. The fact of the matter is, you know, again, time and time again, we were okay first 15 minutes, getting into the right positions, having all the possession of the football, as is borne out in the stats over 90 minutes as well, although obviously skewed by the fact that when you're 3-0 up, you don't really need to be worried too much about anything other than stopping the other team from scoring. You know, we did alright. As I say, we created a few chances. On another day, you know, perhaps we could have got a couple of goals, but I don't think that we particularly deserved them because we just didn't cope with Aston Villa. Once that first initial 15 minutes was up, you know, Aston Villa seemed to get the heads around what we were doing, and we never really came back from that. Substitutions wise, I agreed taking Shelvey off. I mean, look, let's be perfectly clear. If there was ever a perfect visual lesson of how poor the depth of quality we have in the attacking third it was today, because Luis Suarez, top player, Raheem Sterling, promising kid, Shelvey, promising kid. But look at that as a front three. That's awful. That's a terrible front three by all accounts. No, look, individually they're all fine. You know, Raheem Sterling, like, as I say, he's got so much talent. Luis Suarez, you wouldn't swap him for anyone in the league. You'd love to have some of the better players in the league around him, certainly. But you know, given the choice, it's much of a muchness between him and any of the best players playing football in the world now, with the exception of the obvious super players in Messi and Ronaldo or whatever. But as a forward three, it's just not good enough, and that's not. I don't think that's Brendan Rodgers' fault. I mean, there's an argument to be made. There should he have gotten more reinforcements in the summer, perhaps? But you know what? That's happened. He's got to cope with what he's got there, and what he's got there isn't good enough. Even if we bought Clint Dempsey, that wouldn't be enough to solve all our problems. There's a case to be made, of course. You know, Fabio Borini being injured. Well, you know, he's not a world-class player. He's a goal scorer. He knows where he needs to be in the positions, and I suspect that a couple of the chances we had today, he might have been there or thereabouts. But it's still too early to make any speak in any certain terms about what kind of player he's going to be in Liverpool shirt. All I'm saying is he would have been a nice option to have there. When you look at our substitutes bench, it's just crying out for some attacking talent, and that. But the thing is, that hasn't changed. We've known this for months, and here's the problem: is that last week we got a smash and grab win against West Ham, which was great, and it was great that we were able to do that. But we were pretty shit for a lot of that game as well. We were able to come away with the result. Today it just went the other way. Benteke just beasted us. You know, he showed us exactly what a almost complete centre forward looks like, holding the ball up, bringing other people into play. We're dominating aerially as well, and also deadly in front of goal, and scoring and creating goals. What more do you want from a centre forward? I mean, as I actually spoke to Chris after the match, he said how long before he gets linked with us every week now, from now until the end of the January transfer window, doubtless. And we needed more from the players who were on the pitch there. Raheem Sterling, as mentioned in the comments, needs to come out the side now. We've known him for a couple of weeks. The concern is that who comes in his place? Suso, but then again, is Suso good enough to make that step up? I think the question's got to be, I think it's just going to be, you just got to get him in there for the game, because Sterling just looked done. He looked finished there. And the problem is that, and we've said this on the show in the past, that I think I said it myself, Raheem Sterling is a great kid, but that's all he is. He's a great kid. When you put him into a professional game full of players, senior players, I think even on his best day, he's only ever a 7 out of 10 because of he lacks strength, power, experience and guile, and a lot of that comes with time, you know what I mean, and that's what he'll be in a few years, and he's got the raw materials there to be a very good player as he matures. But right now he can never be more than 7, and the problem is that on the opposite flank and you've got an attacking midfielder who's got no pace, and let's face it, not the most mobile of players anyway, playing on the right wing or the left, and then they switched, and you just think, I was crying out. And of course people are going to say it was crying out for Assaidi, and you know what, I can't argue with that. Don't know what he's got to do to get a game. Obviously something's not happening in training. If anyone knows any reasons why, if there's anything glaring that I'm missing, please do let us know in the comment section underneath. I mean, I'm interested, how would you have done it differently? Because obviously there's going to be a lot of contention there. There's going to be people just saying, shit manager, shit, load of garbage. And I can see where you're coming from. But I'm interested to know what you would have done differently in there. A lot of calls for Steven Gerrard to get us, but look at it, the point was made. Gerrard needs a rest, Sterling needs a rest, Joe Allen needs a rest, Lucas Leiva's just come back from a long-term injury. Ideally you'd love to be able to rotate them all, but we haven't got the players to rotate them all. Jordan Henderson, if anyone, came on and was probably our most influential player coming on. Some people will say that speaks volumes of the poor quality we had on the pitch, but I would say no, I think that speaks volumes to the character of the man, that he's really stepped up in the last few weeks. And if he doesn't get a start next week, then I don't know what he's got to do, because right now he's starting to look more of a player than Gerrard, you know what I mean? He's being more dynamic, it's more action-packed, he's got more energy, more drive, and something that our midfield's really lacking. So Jordan Henderson, a bright spot. Stuart Darling, I think certainly a bright spot at left back. I think the bright spot was the fella who jumped out the crowd to retrieve the ball. My man of the match this week, without a shadow of a doubt. And hats off for the crowd as well, for making sure he didn't get booted up by booing the stewards for going near him. Highlighted the crowd performance for the day as well. Anyway, look, it's done, it's dusted. We were naive to start looking at 4th place, and if, as people have said, if Rodgers has actually said that he thinks we can get in top 2, rather than just saying it's a target where we'd like to aim, I think that's a bit naive too. I think the problem is every single time we've gone, ooh look, we're only X amount of points behind someone, that's generally where we fuck it up the next week. So just stop looking at the league table, let's just get through the next few games. Hopefully that'll be a lesson learned. I think that's what we've got to remember, is that this whole season's a learning curve, and I don't imagine that we will fall foul of a result quite like that again, because Rodgers is learning his trade. There's a lot of players learning the trade there as well, so hopefully anyway. What more can you say? Anyway, let us know what your thoughts are, of course, in the comment section as always. If you want to watch some more stuff when we were a little bit happier before the game, there's a 2-hour subscriber show on the Redmen TV. I'm also going to be starting our transfer focus specials as of Monday. Please do get on the we asked you this week who you thought Liverpool should sign, what type of players we should be bringing in, who should be going out, etc, etc. We're going to be starting that on Monday, so go on that video, leave comments, yada yada yada, tweet me at the Redmen TV, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, subscribe show if you're interested. Looks like this.
I'd rather it just went back to the way it was.
Yeah.
And you know, you could still breathe life again into the Europa League by, as you say, give it a Champions League spot. Make it a knockout competition. Fuck that huge group stage up. Don't parachute in the fucking teams of the Champions League. Go.
Yeah. Well, like, genuine question, is it like 18 to 20 games if we win it? That's how many we play, isn't it?
Like that's like half a season, yeah.
It's just fucking...
We had to qualify twice for it, didn't we? Yeah. And that's 4 games straight away.
Yeah. 6 more. Then, how many rounds have we got left? 32, 16, 8, 4, 2. 5 more rounds at 2 legs. There's another 10 games, 20 games, yeah. That's fucking mental, isn't it? Like,
so it's, but I mean, shouldn't complain. Didn't have it last season, like you mean.
And then what's Platini saying now? Like, merge it with the Champions League.
64 teams in the Champions League.
Everyone who finishes 7th or above it. Fuck off. Soft twat.
It was my dad's point last week that Platini, a bit like Blatter, is just a comedy figure designed to take attention away from all the corruption within UEFA and FIFA.
It's bizarre suggestion.
Major chatter of shit. But then again, as you say, the announcement this weekend, the Euro 2020 is actually going to be all over Europe, which is... Yeah, always good fun. Next week we've got our building up towards Christmas. We'll have Hollyoaks superstar James Sutton himself in the studio. Promises to be a good laugh, so please do tune in for that as well. Anyway, let's go on to a bevy, shall we? Anyway, thanks very much. Good night. Ta-da.